Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, the 8th day of April. It is National All Is Ours Day. It is National Empanada Day, which I'd never had an empanada until we went on vacation not too long ago. And we went to a restaurant that had a bunch of different things. But one of the things they did, like halfway through, like we ordered our stuff.
Oh,
and they
yeah,
came
we
over and
did.
said,
I was trying to think of what you were talking about. That was really good.
You guys get some
liked
empanadas while you're waiting. We're like, we get what?
Yeah.
It was it was a cool
It was
little restaurant.
random, but it was really
But they had
yummy.
so many different kinds of things, but
Yeah.
they were really good. So I should celebrate by having some empanadas today. National Zoo Lovers Day today.
I do love a good zoo.
I do too. National Alcohol Screening Day today as well. Just leave a pause for you to
Okay.
say
I
whatever.
do love alcohol.
I figured you were going to say something. And it's a Thursday. So we've got a really fun, interesting, gonna make me blush, Dear John letter coming your way as well.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Need to increase your productivity? Then it might be time for some spring cleaning. A new study finds that half of Americans that they talk to believe they accomplish more when facing a totally blank wall in their home. So they're saying when you got too much clutter, then I don't get as much stuff done. Even more people, 53%, say, I cannot listen to music or even like spoken word, like a podcast or anything while I'm working or I get distracted. I completely disagree with both of those things.
I seem to do better when there's no noise and
I like to put the radio on, have some music, and or just listen to something while I'm doing something because I feel like I can get twice as many things done then. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing something that requires me to like speak or record or whatever, then yeah, you can't. But if I'm tidying up the mess in my office with the music on, please. A new poll shows that church attendance in the U.S. dropped below 50%.
that's really sad.
That is very, very sad. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. After transporting a Florida woman to jail following her DUI charges at a McDonald's drive-thru, police discovered she had an 8-pack of vodka stuffed in her bra. A what?
Okay, so DUI charges at a McDonald's drive-thru.
Yeah.
Okay.
911 call about a drunken female that's going through the drive-thru. They get there, find 31-year-old Brandy Stanley behind the wheel of a Pontiac SUV, idling outside the McDonald's. She'd been eating in the vehicle, smelled of alcohol, had glassy eyes, her face was flush. When she got out of the vehicle, she swayed from side to side. She refused to perform a field sobriety test, but she was arrested, placed in the rear part of the police car. En route to jail, she said, just take me home. Let's forget this. I'm so stupid. I should have known better. Well, that's not how it works. She yelled and screamed at police. It was after they got into the police department, they located an 8-pack of vodka, like little bottles, in her brassiere. So she was charged with a pair of misdemeanor DUI counts, by the way, if you wonder what that turned into. Not a good plan. Don't drink and drive ever, 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 ever.
No.
What happens when your brain...
There's so many options. It's so infuriating when I hear that these things are still happening.
Please don't.
Literally anybody can give you a ride, and it is
Push of a
so
button. You can get
much
home.
cheaper than paying for
So
the
much
DUI.
smarter, too.
Yeah.
But that is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Universal Studios will be officially reopening on Friday, April 16th. Is that this week? No, that's next Friday. So we're a little over a week away. In accordance with government guidelines, though, only California residents can visit the theme park right now when it reopens.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what that means or why that is, but that's what they're doing at Universal Studios starting next Friday. And a man who broke a Guinness World Record by watching the Avengers Endgame movie in theaters 191 times says the hardest part was sacrificing his social life and time with his family. And it doesn't say friends, but just family. So I'm just...
What's that supposed to mean, John?
Because I was going to say his family and friends.
Have any friends.
No, I didn't. I honestly didn't mean anything negative. I just said his family, and I was going to say and friends, but then I realized it didn't say that. So, wow, don't put words in my mouth. Big screen, little screen. Oof. Brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com. Oscar Mayer is giving away a pair of bacon-scented shoelaces.
What?
They make bacon,
Who
Oscar Mayer.
sniffs their shoelaces?
I don't know that anyone sniffs their shoelaces, but they said, you know what these shoelaces are missing? The scent of bacon. And somebody else said, yeah, I agree. Let's bacon these babies up and give some away. And that's what they're doing, apparently. So
That seems like a waste to me because
does
you're not
seem-
ever sniffing your shoelace.
It
Well,
does-
most normal people aren't sniffing
yeah,
their
it does seem a little bit odd, but I guess to each their own. If you want bacon-scented shoelaces, now here's the thing: if they were bacon-flavored, that'd be even more weird because then that means you'd have to eat them. So,
Right.
Pfizer said their COVID-19 vaccine is 100% effective in kids aged 12 to 15, raising hopes that adolescents could start getting the poke, as they put it in here, before next school year. So they're saying this could be really, really good news. So that's the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. Researchers have designed a nose-only coronavirus mask. Have you seen images of these online?
I have.
It's pretty silly, actually. I looked at it, and they're like, well, this is so you can keep wearing your mask while you're eating and drinking. So, and everybody in the video that I watched, they were wearing one with another mask over the top of that. So, I don't even know where you would get them, but I have a link to the video if you want to see what I saw. Rescue worker, this is actually really kind of sad, a little bit sad at least. A rescue worker that freed the cargo ship blocking the Suez Canal says he and the team worked a little harder after seeing memes online that were mocking their efforts. I kind of feel sad for them.
I
like
didn't see any memes mocking
Yeah, they
the
were
efforts.
making fun of the people about how many people does it take to remove this, whatever. So they saw that, and they said they worked a little harder because they just wanted to, make people happy.
I didn't
So,
see any of those. That's too bad.
It's bad that you didn't see them, or it's bad that people were doing it?
Oh, both, probably, because I love a good meme.
Just wanted to clarify. All right. Thanks for listening to your Scoop of the Day on the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
And it's time right now for Dear John Letters. All right, Heidi, I got a Dear John letter. I'm wondering if they just sent this to see if I'll even read it because it's kind of embarrassing.
Okay.
But I can also say I have a story that it reminded me of instantly. So it's probably legit, but I'm going to read it to you. Here we go. Dear John, I am not sure how to approach my new neighbor or if I should even mention it to them, but they don't have curtains or blinds on their windows. I was letting my dog out the last 2 nights, and I noticed the neighbors walking around their home in the nude. I'm not sure if they realize we can see them since the windows are to the back of their home and point to our house and to our other neighbor's house. I was thinking of telling them, but my wife told me that might be a really embarrassing way to meet the new neighbors. I think it would make more sense to let them know now rather than wait a month or two. They just moved in. I'm not sure if they listen to your show. Maybe they'll hear it on the show and I won't have to say anything. I want to know what I would want to know if it were me. Oh yeah, there we go. But he says I also make sure I wear clothes even when I'm walking around my own house. Give me an idea of what you would do if this was your neighbor. Signed, Unintentional Peeper. So I'm going to start this by saying, about how many years ago did we build that home? Was that 15 years ago?
Yeah, probably.
We built a home, and we went several years with no curtains on our windows because my wife over here said, no, I don't want curtains. I think that would look bad. I think it looks really good.
I don't like darkness, and so I did not want
I
any
always made
curtains.
sure I was fully clothed no matter what. Heidi, on the other hand, didn't necessarily always do that.
I don't care.
I'm like, would you just make sure you're decent before you go by a window at least? So maybe they know, and maybe in
my situation, they just don't care.
Yeah, because I remember she said, "Hey, if my neighbors look, it's their therapy bill."
Yeah, exactly. It's their problem, not mine.
But I would, if it were me, I would let them know. And I was even thinking if you wanted to like just write a note, but then it's gonna be kind of weird because then it's like, okay, you said it's either you or one other neighbor would have, windows looking that way. Don't tell the other neighbor because that would be even worse. Hey, have you noticed the new view? So certainly don't talk to that neighbor. But if you see them outside or something, you might just want to say, "Hey, I don't even." This can be really embarrassing, but I notice you guys don't have curtains.
Maybe they don't care. It's none of.
I don't know
just don't look that direction.
I was
If it
out letting my
bothers you,
dog
just
out.
don't watch.
I don't know. I think you should let them know. And if they just moved in, maybe they're going to put curtains up. That could be.
Or maybe they don't care.
Or they just don't care. Now, it reminded me of a story, and this supposedly is a true story. Now, I don't know if it's a true story. It was told to me, I'm doing air quotes, as a true story.
Joke.
Well, I don't think so. I was told as a true story. But a lady had called the police because her neighbors were walking around their home in the nude. And they were doing this on a routine basis. She called the police, and the police came over. And they said, we don't even see where you're seeing this. And she said, but if you stand up on this chair and look that way, you can see down, So that was supposedly. And you said you think that was just a joke?
I think that was a joke.
Okay,
yes.
well, I remembered it as a true story. But maybe it's because I'm gullible. So, so if you're just standing in your yard letting the dog out, and you're not like on your roof, looking down, going, I don't know if you guys know this. When I'm sitting on the roof up there, I can see.
With my telescope.
Yeah, but if you're literally just standing in your yard letting your dog out, and that's right there. Now, it doesn't say in this story whether or not this person has little kids, because if there are kids, you certainly want to say, hey, just because I've got, some teenage kids or whatever, or little kids, just want you to know I don't necessarily need them seeing that or whatever. That might change. Would that change the story for you at all or not at all? You still don't care?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I suppose if somebody said something to me about their kids saw me, I probably would think twice. But if you're a grown up staring in my windows, I really...
Most popular house in the neighborhood when it comes to trick-or-treating all of a sudden. Anyway, I hope somebody has some good advice. I don't know that we really did. If you'd like to chime in, we post this early in the week on our Facebook page. And also, I would like to remind you, if you've got a question, maybe one that doesn't involve nudity for next week, but if you've got a question that you would like an answer to, you can submit it through the same exact place, facebook.com/JohnandHeidiShow.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Superman did not always fly. Yeah, the original comic book, Superman could leap tall buildings in a single bound, but then he had to come right back down to Earth because he didn't fly. It wasn't until the 1940s
I didn't know that.
when animators for a new animated series decided it would be too difficult to routinely draw him bending to his knees. That's when they said, well, we'll just have where he takes off and flies. Readers got to see the smooth animation, and a superhero gained a new power. So there you go. Now you know. Thank you for listening.
I'm glad he can fly. I like
Me
him better
too.
that he flies.
I think it's cool. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world, brought to you by radiotravelgroup.com. Dateline, Germany. Over 55,000 animals are believed to have been killed after a fire at a pig farm in Germany. That's really sad. So earlier in the program, we talked about bacon-scented shoelaces, which I think would be a good smell. I bet this would have been a terrible smell.
Oh,
55,000 animals burned in a fire.
Oh, that's
I can just,
so sad.
It's very, very sad. Online, people were saying, do you think it smelled like a barbecue? I was like, I don't know what
Probably
it would smell
not.
like, but that would have been a bad thing. The whole thing would have been bad. So I've got a link to the story if you want to read all the details. I don't need to know any more. That was enough. That's all I need to know. It's a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers found 29 finches hidden in hair rollers in the baggage of a traveler who was coming in through the airport heading to New Jersey. This happened on Sunday. Flight from Georgetown, South America. That makes more sense. 26-year-old was bound for unspecified address in New Jersey because they didn't know where they were going exactly. $300 civil penalty. Not criminally charged. His name not released. Officials say the man withdrew his application to enter the U.S. He was sent back on a flight to Guyana. Agriculture specialists quarantined the finches and turned the birds over to the USDA Veterinary Services. The fate of the birds is unclear. But they had 29 birds stuffed in hair rollers and trying to travel into the country that way. That's just bizarre.
I guess I didn't know that it was
there's a market
problem
apparently.
to bring in birds.
You got to do it the right way. That's not the right way, by the way. But it is today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by radiosavings.com. An 84-year-old driver accidentally reversed his car on top of another vehicle outside the JFK Medical Center. Authorities received a call about a two-car accident where a Toyota was on top of a different car. It was an Acura. They say the driver was not injured. No summons were issued. He parked in front.
So he went in reverse and went over the top of another car?
Let me explain it here. He was parked in front of another car, mistakenly apparently put it in reverse instead of drive. When he hit reverse, he drove up over the hood, ultimately on the roof of the car behind him.
Yikes.
It took authorities about an hour and a half to remove the vehicle from on top of the other vehicle. The one on the bottom was in pretty rough shape. They had to use a crane, by the way. The Acura had significant damage. People mistakenly put cars in reverse or drive and go the wrong way quite often. But this situation is not often where you actually drive up on top of another car. It's quite uncommon. You don't see that a lot.
I used to work at a Ford dealership. I worked with my dad at a Ford dealership. And we had a guy who accidentally put it in drive instead of reverse and drove right into the showroom.
Yeah.
He was one of the employees of the...
Oh, wow. That's even worse.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It was bad.
That is today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Heidi, tell me, Powder Ridge, Middlefield, Connecticut. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Powder Ridge.
I'm going to say golf course.
And the answer is a golf course.
Yeah, you're laughing at me. I thought you were going to.
No, I'm just really
I got it
glad that it
wrong
was
again.
a golf course because Powder Ridge would be a terrible rehab center name.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was
Yeah.
just thinking like the powdery sands of like a
in the sand
sand
traps.
pit. Yeah.
Yeah, Powder Ridge. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that'd be a bad name
Yeah,
for
I see
Ridge.
what
So
you're
it's
thinking. I agree.
It's a golf course, thank goodness. That's how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by timeforrehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Here's a headline. Toddler missing in Ontario forest for over 3 days, found alive and well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
3 days.
A 3-year-old boy who was lost in the woods near Kingston, Ontario for more than 3 days, found alive and well. Isn't that just amazing?
Wow.
They say Jude Layton was recovered Wednesday afternoon, last seen at 11 a.m. Sunday at his family's fishing lodge. Police say some of their emergency response officers found the boy at 3:20 p.m. sleeping near a pond. It says 4 of our ER team members, part of the research and rescue team, were on another task to check another area. While they were on their way to that task, they found Jude. It was a great finale to some very, very difficult days. About 50 emergency response officers were searching for the boy. Another 50 were from 2 different volunteer search groups out of Ottawa, joined the search Monday. It says they're still trying to figure out how he evaded the extensive research efforts because where he was found, they had been looking all over that area. So how this young boy was able to survive the wilderness when it was rainy and cold and blustery weather for more than 72 hours is also a giant mystery. Well, we
It's a
can't say
miracle.
for sure. He was dressed for the weather. He had a winter jacket with heavy wool sweater. His boots were still on. So given all those bonuses, he thrived. Actually, he did very, very well. So
How old did you say this young
he's
man?
3. Whoa. 3. And he was out in this nature area by himself for 3 days.
Wow.
So luckily he's okay and back with mom and dad. Can you imagine how you'd be a wreck?
Oh,
I'd be
oh
a
my
wreck.
gosh.
That'd be really bad. I mean, I couldn't even imagine 3 hours, let
No.
alone 3 days. That is your good news for today. I've got a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.